Hi folks, it's Arnie here. Having established some of the basic ground rules for the basic way in which we discuss dancing, we've abbreviated the four dances into AB, AA, BB and BA. We can actually use this now to try to look and analyse in a more realistic way what happens when men and women dance together each of these ways. The first thing I want us to look at now, as we move into a more advanced understanding of what's really happening in realistic scenarios, I want to discuss picking and choosing. Picking and choosing is central to dancing. Whenever a man and woman dance, in an old-time dance, the man would approach the woman and he would say, "Excuse me," and she would say yes. And he would say, "Would you like to dance?" And she would either say yes or no. That is the perfect illustration of what it is to pick and choose. The man picked the woman and then give her a choice. Picking and choosing is therefore an essential element of an authentic dance, because in that illustration I just gave you, the man picked and the woman chose. To understand picking and choosing in terms of a sexual dynamic, there are two things which we have to understand about picking and choosing. First of all, picking. Picking is something that you take. You take a pick. So from many, you pick one. You take that one. Choice, on the other hand, is something that you give to the one that you picked. So I can't pick and choose. I get to pick a girl, and in so doing I give her a choice. What I can do is pick her and authentically choose her at the same time, because she'd have to give me that choice. So let's look at each dance and see whether or not it satisfies that criterion. Let's look at the first one, AB. So imagine I'm in a dance and I approach the girl and I say, "Excuse me," and she says yes. And I say, "Would you like to dance?" And she says yes or no. AB, AB. How would that work if we transfer that into the AA scenario? AA is A, B, B, A. So what would that look like? That is, I would approach the girl, I would say, "Excuse me, miss." She would say yes, and then she would say to me, "Would you like to dance?" And I would say yes or no. What has happened here is that AA dancing, the man is picking, but he's also choosing. In the first situation, AB, the man picked, but the woman was given the choice, because he asked her, "Do you want to dance?" and she was then given the choice to say yes or no. In AA dancing, the man is picking and he's choosing. How is that possible? We'll come to that later when we look at these dances in more detail. But let's look at them in terms of picking and choosing for now then. So what about BB? What happens? BB, the interaction is BA, AB. Who picks? The first person? The woman. Who chooses the last person? The woman. So BB, as you would expect, is the exact opposite of AA. In AA, the man picks and the man chooses. In BB, the woman picks and the woman chooses. BA is the complete opposite of AB. BA, BA. Here, the woman picks the man chooses. So this takes us on to another point then. It's clear that it's impossible to pick and choose. But can a woman pick and give a man a choice sexually? This is something which can be difficult to look at and to be unattached to. The reality of it is, men and women live inside sex completely differently. Men, essentially, this is how I would encapsulate this. When a woman makes advances on a man, he has to have a reason to say no to them. When a man makes advances on a woman, the woman has to have a reason to say yes. That's because men and women live inside sex differently. So in this situation, when the woman picks, she essentially is making the advances. She's making the sexual advances. If at any point in any of the dances, the woman makes the first move in any part, she is making the advances. Emotionally, both the man and the woman feel that. We feel it. In this situation, BB, what would happen if you were in a dance hall? Now bearing in mind the man is the one who wants to dance with the woman. For this to happen, the woman would approach the man and say, "Excuse me." He would say yes. Then he would say to her, "Would you like to dance?" And she would say yes. Think about that. She has approached him in the full knowledge that he is going to ask her. In the same way that in this situation the man has approached the woman in the full knowledge that she is going to ask him. Finally, therefore, in BA, the woman, for this to happen, it would be the woman approaches the man and says, "Excuse me." He says yes. She says, "Would you like to dance?" And he says yes. A complete reversal of the man picking and the woman choosing. Can women give men a choice sexually? Be honest. When a woman makes advances on a man, he has to have a reason to refuse them. Women, on the other hand, are in an indifferent place regarding sexual advances of men. Now, when you ask me for a girl to dance, it's not a sexual advance per se, but what I'm referring to is the advancing of a relationship, ultimately with the aim of a man and woman forming a couple. Therefore, any such advance is a sexual advance. And that's what Dancing with Strangers is about. What we're saying here, therefore, is that the only scenario in which an authentic choice is being given by persons picking is in A, B.